Your mental firewall has just been breached by left-handed radio.
What's up, laundry fuckers? What's up, laundry fuck buddies? What's up, laundry fucking ears? This is the podcast for laundry. I'm your host, Brett Davis. This is the only podcast meant to be listened to while you're doing your load of laundry, whether it's at your local laundromat or at home. And I've got a really special guest here with us. You know him as the host of Future Forums, is one-fourth of Cartoon Monsoon, a heck of a funny Twitter at 2-Ton-Bug. Ladies and gentlemen, here's America's sweetheart, Joe Rumrill.
Hey, Brett, how are you? That was so nice. I like you doing the plugs at the beginning, too.
Well, you got to get it out of the way. We'll hit the plugs again so people that are hungry for more can click forward.
The Laundry Fucking Ears. Finally, a podcast for Laundry Fucking Ears.
Finally.
I feel like every time I go on a podcast, I'm trying to address Laundry Fucking Ears, and people are raising their eyebrows at me, and now I feel finally seen and heard.
Was that true?
It maybe was a little bit of a riff, but you know what? I'm not going to even backtrack. It was a lie. I lied to you just now. I'm really sorry.
Hey,
I didn't mean to get off on the wrong foot.
Hey, it's okay.
All right.
I am in a better place now.
You've got a glow about you.
Well, thank you.
It's a really nice sheen you have.
Thank you very much.
Your skin and on your clothes soon, I guess. Once those are clean.
I trust me. These were clean when I put them on.
I believe you.
Because I did do a load of laundry earlier today.
Pre-gaming.
Yeah,
I like it.
I do laundry a couple times a week.
Wow.
So,
You're
yes.
a true enthusiast.
A true enthusiast.
Wow.
But I was going through a bit of a rough patch last week.
Oh, no.
And I am happy to say I am doing much better.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yes.
I'm glad to be part of any part of your sort of rebirth.
Thank you.
As a sort of a positive force. What do you mind if I ask what? Well, you know what? Is it okay? Like what?
I mind.
Okay. All right. Thank you for being upfront with me, the guest, that you don't want to talk about certain things that I am interested in hearing about. I do want to reiterate that I am interested in hearing about them. But again, nothing but respect for you as the host of this podcast for laundry. We don't have to delve into it.
My therapist, who I've begun seeing, has told me not to focus so much on the past.
Okay.
So don't think of it as me not trusting you with this information. It's just me moving forward, not behind.
Awesome. That is a little weird, though, because it does seem like we can learn so much from the past, like history, classes, and stuff like that.
This is true.
So it's just kind of weird. I'm not calling anyone a quack. I'm not playing the quack card.
I don't think you are.
All right.
I'm just saying that this is maybe I'm somebody that delves in the past a little too often.
Okay.
Sometimes sits there.
Yeah.
And
wallows. Would you use the word wallow?
I would say wallows.
Cool.
There are parts of, just in this first therapy session I had, there are parts of my history that are...
History, there's that word again. That's interesting that you used it.
There are parts of me that affect my day-to-day that I didn't even realize were so toxic.
Subconscious things.
I've got some filth in my past.
Oh, well,
that I'm looking to clean. And that brings us to this first segment. This is called Turn the Tide.
Turn the Tide.
Well, actually, it's not a segment yet, but it could be a segment. As you see, I'm holding a bottle of Tide detergent.
Of course.
And I'm just going to leave this here on the table. I should also mention that we are at the Fresh Clean laundromat in Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
It's a quality laundromat.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Is this Brooklyn, Williamsburg, Brooklyn, or East Williamsburg?
I would say no one would bat an eye if you said one or the other. I don't think anyone's ready to wring your neck if you called it East Williamsburg or regular Williamsburg.
Fair enough.
No problem.
It's a little off the beaten path, but this bottle, I forgot to bring my own, so I had to purchase it on my way here. This is your key to controlling the conversation.
Oh.
What you're going to do is, if at any point during this conversation you want to literally turn the tide,
It's
you
Tide
could actually
brand
spin it
detergent.
so that the label is no longer facing towards you and facing towards me or otherwise.
Okay, that sounds like fun.
Really?
Yes.
A lot of people say it's not so fun.
Yeah. I mean, again, if we're being completely honest, I did that. I feel like you sort of expect me to be more on the positive end of the spectrum. So I was putting on airs a little bit. It does seem a little convoluted, and that you're really kind of stretching to find anything interesting about laundry to say. But I am willing to indulge you. Because again, I'm sort of glad that you're blazing a new trail in happier end of the spectrum of personality, and I want to be there for you, my friend. So let's and it's not a segment. This is not a segment. I was gonna say let's start the segment, but then you also said
let's
it's not
start
a
a segment then.
But you just said it wasn't a segment.
Is it?
You said it's not. You started to say it was a segment, and then you said, "Well,
Let's
it's not
do a
actually
segment
a segment."
called Bleach Please.
What happened
Hold
to
for bumper.
What happened to turn
Hold
the
for
tide?
bumper.
That doesn't mean anything to me. What's hold for bumper?
Hold for. All right. Maybe you've never been on a podcast before.
I've been on plenty of
Okay,
podcasts.
well,
what a rude thing to say. If a family member on Thanksgiving dinner said that I wouldn't had never been on a podcast before, I would not only leap across the dinner table, knife in hand, but I would also
Knife in hand. It's not a
against
little
my
extreme
own-
for you.
Listen, man, I'm gonna turn the tide.
What?
There we go.
We are
Turn the tide.
literally moments into this.
Hold
interview.
for bumper.
You can't say hold for bumper.
I know.
If anything, that
don't
confuses
really
the
know
editor.
what it means.
Okay. First off, you're dominating the conversation. This is my
I
show.
turned the tide.
I know, but I just want to explain to you.
Bleach, please. I also don't know what bleach, please was supposed to entail. But
Look. We need to. Okay, I will no longer talk about your Thanksgiving follies, but you have turned the tide, so I will remove this from the table. And now, just focus for me.
all right.
First off, hold for bumper means that there's an editor, and they've got technical skills that I just don't possess, and they create these really flashy bumpers, sort of like if you turn on like Z100 or your top 40 radio station wherever you live. They're jam-packed with noises and sounds, and they kind of pick up the conversation a little bit.
Gotcha.
I'm not-
Bow down.
Precisely.
Podcast. You're listening to Podcast for Laundry. Podcast for Laundry.
Yeah. On the Forever Dog
Well-
Podcast Network.
Yeah. All right. Well, then if it's for that, I'll hold for that.
Exactly. So
I didn't know those were called bumpers.
those are called bumpers.
I've called them flashies.
Flashies?
Flashies. That's maybe a Connecticut colloquial term.
Okay, that's fine.
So could
For the editor, when
Yeah.
I say hold for flashy, means hold for bumper.
right? So you are going to cater to my, because this would be great. You probably get a lot of play back in Connecticut, sort of central Connecticut.
Yeah.
Not
I
really
mean, I'm
not
telling-
really full disclosure, and probably not really the rich. I say Connecticut, you probably think like Old Saybrook, Old Lyme, and that's like the rich.
Uh-huh.
I'm talking more Hartford. I'm talking my hometown, Windsor, Connecticut.
Yeah.
That's the term flashies.
Stamford.
Radio's used. Stamford, not so much, but again,
Greenwich.
no, Greenwich, very rich. You're way off. You couldn't be more off. Try getting on, buddy.
Wait, so
Really, just Hartford and Windsor.
are you saying the poors are listening, or are you saying
I wouldn't call them that. That's hard. That's very
Look,
probably very mean.
my thing is I hang out in laundromats. I deal with the poors all the time.
Yes. Do you call them the pores to their face? And we're talking about strictly just people who use laundromats.
I won't
Or are you-
point to someone and say you're a poor, but I'll think it.
Okay.
You kind of know. You kind of know when someone's.
Are there any pores? There's a few people in this laundromat right now. Are we amongst pores right now?
Well, you see that
Don't
guy.
point to me.
That guy, he's wearing a sleeveless shirt. He's got sort of like ratty like shorts on.
Sure, but there's
Something tells
to
me-
him it's laundry day.
It is laundry day, but something tells me that laundry day and regular day are not that different.
Oh,
I would say he's a poor.
oh gosh. Well, that's good. Thanks for telling me, because I would have probably just gone up to him.
It's not a judgment.
Yeah.
I love the poors. I frequently hang out with the poors.
Yeah.
But you got to be a little street smart when you go into a laundromat, because sometimes you're leaving your clothes.
Yeah.
There's no locks.
You've
on
got
these.
change. You've got change jingling in your
I've
pocket.
got change. I've got my clothes just sitting there. I'm not always sitting right next to the machine.
Yeah.
Sitting in a plastic chair. So, you got to be, okay, who are the poors? Who might steal my clothes?
Okay. So it is smart to be morally repugnant in these situations.
Yes.
Okay.
Street smart.
Street smart. Well, you say potato. I say morally repugnant.
Tell me, what's your experience with laundry? How do you do it?
I gather my dirty clothes. You
Mhm.
gotta gather your dirty clothes
It's the biggest part.
in a hamper or a pile in your room, and you gather it up and you bring it to.
I'm not asking how laundry is done. I'm saying, how do you do it?
Oh.
Do you use a pile? Do you have a hamper? Maybe a sack?
I think I use all three of those, if you believe it. But I do think that me explaining that kind of does. I don't want to offend you anymore, but that me explaining that probably would entail me sort of slipping into how laundry is done, and I don't want to preach to the choir, so to speak. So I will say yes, I use a pile, and yes, I use a hamper, and yes, I use a sack, but not all three of those do go into just the doing of laundry. And
Fine.
and
Is this
you
your local
sort of cut
laundromat?
me off.
Because I know where you live, but is this the one you frequent?
No, I've never been in this laundromat before.
How do you think it compares to your actual laundromat?
It's a little more upscale. There's a lot more machines, which I think is good. Probably get a lot more people coming in, but it's not as cozy as Ma's, which is right around the corner from me. Ma's Laundry.
I've never been there before.
When you asked me to be on this, I thought maybe part of it was that you come to my local.
Well, I asked to meet here. I kind of skipped a step by not asking you what your local laundromat was.
Yeah.
And maybe this isn't the closest.
It's not the closest. This was a bit of a trek for me.
I'm
But again,
so
I'm
sorry.
not complaining.
I am so sorry about that.
Yeah.
So, what do you do? So you've gone to the laundromat.
Yeah.
You put the clothes in the machine. Then what's your thing?
Okay.
What are you doing?
You're explaining how laundry's done. You just yelled at me because
I'm skipping the steps because I feel
you
like
truly
it would have
did
been a
raise
little
your voice.
laborious
Can
in
you admit that
explaining
you
it.
raised your voice a little bit and maybe made it a little
I
bit
didn't raise
shorter?
my voice.
Yeah, well, you just raised your voice just now. So I think you're not. I think you're unaware that you're doing this, and it comes off a little curt.
I
and a little
apologize
unbecoming.
for being curt and
I'm
unbecoming.
hearing this. I hear this apology, and I accept it.
because I am trying to better myself.
I know you really. I think trying's the word. You're really trying. Yeah, I use a laundry machine. I gather my coins, and boy, the price it can be a little pricey, right? Right?
Yeah. I could
Right.
absolutely.
That I can say that, right? That's opinion. It's not fact.
It is
can
opinion.
Be a little.
You
pricey.
can tell facts too. I didn't say specifically you can't say facts. I'm just saying.
It sounds like every time I say a fact, I am called out. And sort
Seems
of
like you're calling
put
me
through
out
the
on
ringer.
everything.
There's that raised voice again. I don't know if you registered it, but I can definitely register it with these headphones. I don't know if your headphones are on. I don't know if you've been listening to what I've been saying.
I registered it after the fact, and I apologize.
Yeah. There's
And
that past again, after the fact. Looking back. Interesting.
The recent past is just fine. I think it's the deep, dark past.
And do you think you have a deep, dark past?
It's one of the pores again.
Listen, maybe don't use the word pores around.
That's the word you used.
No. You told me I learned of the term pores on this podcast.
You learned of the term.
Yeah,
pores?
I know of the term poor,
Mm-hmm.
but to personify someone as a poor or a group of pores is news to me. It's new. It's
All right.
news to me.
All right. I apologize for that. I didn't see it as offensive, but I guess
We're living in an age of political correctness. Brett.
and that brings us to our sponsor. Adam Carolla is fundraising for a brand new film right now that talks about the whole scourge of political correctness that is dominating the conversation. Poor Adam Carolla, star of the Man Show, star of many things. He can't even go to college anymore without offending somebody. So he is starting a one-man crusade to prevent all those. The film is called, I lost my copy, but you should really check it out. And donate to the Kickstarter because he is currently fundraising for it.
Do you know where the dollar amount is right now? The amount that's been donated. How close do you think Adam Carolla is? And also, answer that question first, and then I have a second question.
I believe the goal is $25 million.
Ooh,
and
for a documentary?
Well, he's trying to get some big names. He's trying to get your Jimmy Kimmel's.
Aren't they old friends?
They were.
Oh, do you think there's a past there?
I would say there's a rift,
history?
but I'd say it legitimizes Adam to kind of seek out Jimmy.
Sure. Do you? You said that Adam is a star of the Man Show and then also many other things.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any other thing?
Beer League.
Broken Lizard movie?
Yeah.
Who's he in? I've not
Cameo.
seen it. Oh, cool. I guess I gotta see it.
I said that with such confidence. I actually don't know.
Wow. All right. See?
But I bet Artie Lang will make an appearance in this documentary.
That's cool. I'll give it $10. I'll give it $10 if Artie Lang's in it.
Yeah.
He seems like he could use the money.
And I'm not saying
would use the money on not anything illicit or bad.
I'm not saying I agree with Adam Carolla's beliefs that things have gotten too politically correct.
Okay, but he would probably applaud your calling the people in this laundromat pores.
Would he?
He would probably jump in and maybe call them something worse.
I hope so because
you don't want to. You don't want to be the worst person in the laundromat. That's why you hope. But also, you were going to say something else.
I'm not saying that Adam Carolla would be the worst person anywhere. I'm just trying to get him as a guest on the show.
Oh, okay. You're pandering. You're using my episode as bait to.
I'm using everyone's episode. I'll be doing these plugs throughout every upcoming episode.
So Adam Carolla is your golden goose.
Yes.
It's really your holy grail.
Could you just imagine, I go down to my local place, and I've been using Charmin, to soften it, and I pull my stuff out, and it's nice and clean.
You're really doing a long riff on this, and I can't even verify that that's a good Adam Carolla impression.
Let's go back to your laundry experience. So
sure,
you drop your stuff off. What do you do now?
I put it in. I put my coins in, and then I go home. And
Okay, so you're missing
wrong?
out on the best part.
What's the best part?
Okay,
the best part is your clean clothes.
Do you meditate?
I don't meditate.
Well, why don't you stick around the laundromat, the corridor of dreams?
The corridor of dreams?
Yes.
What's that?
That is what I call the laundromat. Because, like a white noise machine, you've got...
You're a white noise machine.
All right.
Ask me.
I want to turn the tide on this fucking...
Well, too bad you put the tide away. I don't... It's
time for Bleach, please. Hold for... Flashy?
Flashy. Shout out to Winter.
Well, you got to hold for it, though.
All right.
Hold for Flashy. Bleach, please is a segment where you get to talk about what makes you say, Bleach, please.
Oh, I don't... Is that really a segment? Or are you...
That is really
Is this like one of
segment.
your
Have you never heard
pranks?
the podcast before?
I've skipped around a few episodes.
Bleach Please is perhaps our best segment. And shout out to Art Jerk on Twitter who created a Bleach Please
Really,
graphic.
Wow, Bleach Please is better than Turn the Tide.
Turn the Tide is
You
not
don't
a segment. I
say.
misspoke. Turn the Tide is just something that we do at the top of every episode, which you would heard if you have ever tuned in.
I've skipped around.
What's your favorite episode then?
My favorite episode of Podcast for Laundry would have to be, if I had to narrow it down to just one single episode of all the episodes that I've listened to, I would probably have to pick the one that I listened to the other day. I listened to it multiple times, I think, and it would be the one that if I had to choose just the one, I would probably have to say,
Can I interrupt you for just a moment?
No, well, I really was. It's just that there's so many. Yeah, go ahead and interrupt, and I'll listen to what you're saying, but I'll also be thinking of what my favorite episode is.
You have such a lovely voice.
Thank you.
And I would love to hear it come out of your mouth for once.
Hey, Forever Dog listeners, it's Jonathan Braylock,
Draw Milligan,
and James III
from Black Men Can't Jump in Hollywood. This year, we have seen what staying silent can do. And right now, you have an unprecedented opportunity to speak up, cast your vote, and be heard.
It's never too early to register to vote, but it might be too late before you know it.
We want to help make it easy for you to register and have a plan for November 3rd or before if early voting is an option in your state so that your country can finally reflect your values.
Yes, go to foreverdogpodcast.com/vote to register. Check on your registration often. You should do it like every day to make sure and learn how to fill out your ballot.
I don't know about every day, but listen.
Every day.
All right, still register.
Good. Am I good? All right.
Gotta make sure people care.
All right, each state is different, so make sure you're following local rules and regulations. And remember, your voice, your vote. That's foreverdogpodcast.com/vote.
Take care of yourselves and take care of each other.
Yeah, but y'all better vote.
All right, go vote.
Hey everybody,
Hi.
It's Alice.
And I'm Veronica from Treks in the City. We are two women who are nerds and we love Star Trek and love talking about it.
That's right.
But we're not exclusive like that.
No, we're not those kind of fans. We're cool ones.
Like chill.
Sexy, young, and also old.
Treks and the City. The city part means we talk about anything.
Which is our right, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
I just need you to understand that we have great guests.
We have the dumbest bits.
And songs.
Sometimes.
And we talk about Deanna Troi in a way that she has deserved for her whole career.
Fully underdeveloped character.
So come on over to Treks in the City.
Only on the Forever Dog Podcast Network.
New episodes out every Monday.
Woo!
Woo.
Unless you listen to left-handed radio, you won't know what left-handed radio is.
I don't understand.
Because you're talking out of your ass.
Bleach,
Bleach, please. What makes you say bleach, please? What grinds your gears?
Are those two separate questions, or is that the same question?
It's
what
the
makes
same-
you say bleach, please, and also what grinds your gears? I could tell you what grinds my gears, but I don't know if I can tell you what. Hearing you say bleach, please, in that particular timbre maybe grinds my gears. a little
Okay,
bit.
then maybe it's
But
not
I
the
probably
same
wouldn't
question.
say bleach, please back to you.
What?
Because I feel uncomfortable doing.
What will make
that
you say
voice.
bleach, please?
I
What do you see that when you stare at it, or when you hear it happen, or whatever the case is, makes you go bleach, please?
I just don't think, and I'm really trying to meet you halfway on
Bleach,
this.
please.
No, I don't think anything would make me say
Bleach, please.
You said it in 4 different ways that still make the hair on my neck
Bleach,
just stand.
please.
5 different ways that just make my just.
Bleach, please.
This is honestly, I feel like I'm being pranked. Is this one of your bits? Are you
Why
doing?
do you
are
keep
you
saying
running?
prank? Have I ever been known to prank?
I guess not, but I do feel as though
Do I
I'm
look
being.
like Jamie Kennedy to you?
You look a little like Jamie Kennedy.
Okay, do
and
I
you're
look
also
like
kind of doing
Ashton
his voice with
Kutcher?
the Bleach Please. You're kind of a Jamie Kennedy.
Well, first off, that's
this
not
is
Jamie
wild.
Kennedy's
This is
voice.
actually kind of.
That's the voice of one of his characters from the movie Malibu's
But
Most
but you
Wanted.
see, he's a lot like an Adam Carolla in my mind, where he's so good that he can sort of mesh. You don't really know where the man begins and the character ends, or where the man ends and the character begins. See, he's such a mystery. But you are a lot. You are like if somebody asked me, hey. What, Brett Davis, do you know this guy? What's his comedy style? I'd say he's sort of Kennedy-esque, Jamie Kennedy-esque.
Oh, I take that as a compliment.
That's great. You should. He's wonderful in. If I had to pick one Jamie Kennedy prank that I liked, I would probably have to say, out of all of his pranks, if I just had to narrow it down to just one, I would have to say it would.
Bleach, please. What makes you say bleach, please?
Rain on a summer's day, I guess.
If you could tie it in laundry, that would be real ideal.
Bleach, please.
What are what are things that you see in the laundromat that drive you up the wall?
When you lose a sock in the laundry.
Amen.
machine.
Bleach, please. To
Bleach,
that.
please. To when you lose a sock. When you're looking for a quarter and all you have are nickels.
Mm-hmm.
Bleach, please.
I was reading some laundry horror stories online, and there was one account of a woman that had been going to this laundromat for months, and one day went to go pick up her laundry, and all of her underwear was missing.
Yeah. That's
Just her underwear, nothing else.
that's kind of scary. When you said it was a horror story, I thought maybe ghosts or Dracula was involved, because that's sort of more what scares me, rather than.
Well, that brings
disappearing.
us to our next segment. It's called
Tales
Laundry
from Dracula.
or
Laundry horror.
Laundry horror
Horror
stories.
stories.
Hold for flashy.
If you could just hold.
Hold
flash.
for flashy. So now, welcome to the haunted laundromat.
Oh no.
Welcome to Laundry Horror Stories. My guest
Thanks for having
today
me.
is the ghoulish Joe Scumrill.
Hey, how's it going? Are you still Brett?
I am Brett.
Count Bretula. Is it cool if I call you Count Bretula? Because you're kind of talking like
I
Dracula.
am Count Bretula.
Yeah. Count Bretula. That's cool.
My guest today has horrifying stories from the land
I don't have
of
those.
laundry.
I actually don't. But I
From
don't.
the corridor of dreams that becomes a corridor of
You're
nightmares.
kind of building this up, and I really don't. You didn't let me know what sort of bits you wanted
Joe,
to prepare.
give to me one of your laundry horror stories.
I don't. It's really kind of thrown me under the bus.
Because,
without
you know,
this.
you seem to have all sorts of things to say,
Yeah.
barely letting me get a word in edgewise.
What are you talking about? You just did an 18-minute intro for Tales from the Laundry Crypt or whatever you
And
called
you got
it.
nothing. You got nothing in you.
What do you mean I got nothing in me?
First off, you're one of the best joke writers. I know.
That's not true. But thank you. That's very kind of you to say.
That is true.
That's not.
So, one would assume that if you could write jokes, which some would say are the hardest things to write, that you wouldn't have a problem writing horror.
Laundry horror stories.
Also, you like your monsters.
I like my monsters, I guess. But
Who's your favorite monster?
Ooh boy, my favorite. I like Godzilla.
That's your favorite monster?
I don't know, man. You keep putting me on the spot.
I didn't mean like a city crushing monster. I meant more like the ghoul.
Like a werewolf.
Like a
or
werewolf.
Tales or a Black Lagoon.
A mummy, yeah. Or a Tales from the Black Lagoon.
I guess, boy, that Tales from the Black Lagoon sure is ghoulish. But I guess I'd have to say Frankenstein's monster. Probably my favorite one. But
Here.
why did Godzilla not count?
Well, I mean, Godzilla's more of. I guess my problem is the wide-ranging definition of monster.
You wouldn't qualify Godzilla as a monster?
I absolutely would, but it's
All
a
right.
very different type of monster.
Sure. In that, no. Again, I think I think a monster's a monster.
Okay, well, does Godzilla strike the same fear in you that a vampire would?
I would say Godzilla strikes more of a fear in me than a vampire. Actually, I don't know. You want me to bring up vampire because vampire wears clothes, and you want to bring it all back to laundry. And Godzilla is famously naked. So again, I'll play the game, and we'll see. You want to go with Dracula? We'll go with Dracula. Because
For once,
he
instead
wants
of
to
making steps longer, you skipped a bunch of steps.
How so?
Because once these monsters are out on the prowl, how do they get their clothes clean?
I think it's a lot a lot of credit you're giving these monsters, and I don't think they care one way or another if they're wearing a dirty shirt.
Okay, let's say Chucky. Do you consider Chucky a monster? Of course you do.
Of course I do.
There is a famous scene in Child's Play 2 where Chucky hides within a dryer
Oh God.
and jumps out surprising the female actress whose name skips in my mind.
Yeah.
Uh,
You don't like to get
I just don't remember her.
Sure.
Someone at home can Google it. And he chases her around her apartment with a knife.
That's
because
very
he was-
scary.
I mean,
Like a monster would.
and yeah, and that's that scene. Since I'm not gonna lie, that is not a scene in Child's Play.
It's not
No,
Child's Play 2.
it's not a scene in any of the Child's Play movies.
It seems
to
like
my
it should
knowledge.
be. That'd be a good way to kill Chucky. Probably. He probably couldn't survive a trip through the dryer. Although maybe he could. I don't know.
I'm gonna Google Chucky Dryer. And
Okay.
See. There's
Do we have anything?
a couple. There's a multiple videos of people looking at the hand dryers at Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh,
Which-
different Chucky though.
First up, how do you
Different
go to a Chuck E. Cheese and think it's CHUCKY?
Oh, I don't know. Chuck E. Cheese. Is
Yeah.
how it's
It's not
spelled.
Chuck E. Cheese.
No, Chuck E. Cheese.
But yeah, it doesn't look like there is a scene. I'm trying to just go with this
Going with what?
horror
This is
obsession you have.
no. You brought up.
I brought it up because you don't seem to like any of my pre-planned segments.
I'm on board with all of them. It seems like you cut them short and
Here it's time
There's a
for
lot of-
Give It a Spin.
see.
Hold for flashy.
I am getting it.
Hold
And
for flashy.
How long are these flashies?
As long as the editor needs.
Who's editing this one?
Joe Cilio.
Keaton?
Keaton.
All right, I don't know. You don't know who
Keaton doesn't edit podcasts, to
That's-
my knowledge.
you could. I'm sure he'd do it if you asked him.
Check out Keaton Munger.
Yeah.
Let's make some great videos.
Are
It's
we
time for Give It a Spin.
Okay, so we're not holding for flash anymore.
What are you spinning these days?
I don't. I'm sure you. Okay, let's. Before I answer, I'm just gonna think this through. You probably mean something that's laundry based, and so I'm going to say clothes.
I mean music. What are you
Oh,
spinning?
you mean music? Are you legitimately asking?
I am legitimately
Okay.
asking what music you're into these days.
I am into something I've been doing. This is actually true. Is listening to all of the albums on my iPod Classic, my big old iPod Classic in alphabetical order, because I don't like thinking of what's gonna come next. I just want to.
I didn't know you were autistic.
I don't think that qualifies me as autistic, but who knows? Again, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. And are
I'm
you
just joking.
diagnosing?
I'm
me?
making. I'm joking.
Oh, that's very fun.
That-
It's
because
very
that-
funny to make fun of those with.
No, I'm not making fun of those with autism. I'm making fun of you because it seems like an obsessive compulsive thing to do
Sure.
that would only
It
signify that
may
you
be.
have
I
some
don't
sort
know.
of, pre-existing mental condition and not
Sure.
just somebody that's a little weird.
I just want to have listened to all of the music on the on the.
So who's number
device.
one? Is it the album Leaf? Is it
Number one is
the Arcade Fire?
no, it's not the artist. It's whatever the album is. I think it's absolutely the best of Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee.
Okay. How was that?
It was great. It was a while ago. It's probably the longest ago.
What letter are you on now?
I'm on L right now.
So
Outside, I just finished Leave Home
by
both the Men and the Ramones.
okay. What was better?
I mean,
That's not a Ramones classic.
I think it's their second album.
I would argue it is a the Men classic.
Sure. I only have 2 Men albums. I like them a lot, but
And
I know
there's,
they
like, 4
changed their
Men
sound.
albums.
They changed their sound
They
like
did.
pretty recently. They're more like a country rock band now, right?
I saw them last summer and they were still garagey, but
That's cool. But they might
I
just
haven't kept up.
yeah, they might just be garagey live because it's kind of easier to do. But I might be wrong. I don't know. I have never seen them, or no, I did see them live back in New Haven. They were great. I think it was around the time of Leave Home, but I didn't know.
I
of
actually
them.
saw the Arcade Fire live, and they jump all over the place with genres at this point.
That's a good point. They're Grammy winning.
Grammy winning.
They won the Grammy. I saw them once too on a
Mhm.
show that was also Chromeo and the Unicorns.
Wow, what a
Quite a show, I know. And they opened because it was before they were big.
wow.
And the guy, I think his name's Win, broke a guitar string and didn't know how to put it back on. But I talked about that on another podcast. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. We'll
It's
skip
okay.
it. I have follow-up questions, but if people want to find out more about that story, where do they go?
I'll tell. I mean, my friend Joe from the Downtown Boys restrung it for him
Wow.
while they did another song.
Was
without
he
guitar.
part of Chromeo at that point?
My friend?
Yeah.
He's in the Downtown Boys.
Yeah, but what was he doing there?
He's my buddy. We went to high school together.
Okay.
I
thought maybe he was in a band previously.
No, we were probably in a band at the time, but I don't remember which one.
I don't mind plugging someone else's podcast on here.
Oh,
because
okay,
I
I didn't
think
know. I didn't know if that was a faux pas or not.
I don't think it's a faux pas.
Okay, it was Stand By Your
Is this a
Band.
faux pas?
It
No.
was Stand By Your Band. It was Tommy McNamara and Tom Takars.
Why on earth would I not want to plug a Tommy McNamara
I
project?
don't know, man.
He's a lot nicer
You're
than you.
How? I don't know if that's true. But how do we determine who's nicer?
What
what
else
would
are
be-
you spinning?
My favorite bands are Devo, Talking Heads, MC5, The Stooges, the OCs.
What are you
Coach
spinning
Whips.
right now?
Like right?
What's
Are we still talking about music?
what is your of the moment pick?
I think more people should know about the Coach Whips,
Okay.
which is John Dwyer's band before the OCs.
So his old band.
Yes.
You know, there's
One
a
of
new
his old
OC's
bands.
record that you could be talking about right now.
That's true.
But
But
you
I think
choose-
more people should know about where he came from.
Some would say they're better than the OCs.
Some would say. I might say that I like them better than the OCs, but I like the OCs.
Now it's time for Spin Cycle.
Cool. But can I ask a question about why a music segment right in the middle of the laundry podcast? That had nothing to do with laundry.
Let's say the laundry podcast
The other-
ends, because most of these episodes top out at 45, 50 minutes. Tops.
Sure.
You
And
might
how many
wanna-
listeners are we talking?
Millions.
I didn't know you had such a large extended family.
Well, we've been on Podmass. We've been on Split Sider. And that really changes your audience.
To
Millions.
millions.
Mhm.
From thousands?
Hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands. Cool. Billions next. Right?
Spin Cycle.
Spin
Hold for
Cycle.
flashy.
We're gonna hold for flashy.
So Spin Cycle is a lightning round-esque segment where I say things and you give maybe a sentence worth of your takes on it.
Okay.
So are you ready?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Dryers.
Soothing. The sound is soothing.
Washing machines.
I would also, and not to piggyback on the last one, but sound is soothing.
Change machines.
They give you change. These are all going to be laundry based, right?
Claw machines.
Oh, okay, cool. They're I've never won one.
The Turn the Tide segment.
Kind of lacking in the entertainment arena.
The Coach Whips.
I liked them. I recommend that people check them out.
Cartoon Monsoon.
It's a show that I do with Mary Houlihan, Tim Platt, and Steve D. Sienna.
Your shitty Twitter. Sorry, did I say that? I was just thinking out loud. Your Twitter.
Now all I can think about is how you called it shitty just now.
I was just adding a little bit of
a little commentary.
To
Brett
it. Sorry.
Davis spin on things.
Yes.
Taking something that is nice and not hurting anyone, and
Twitter.
Sort of turning it into
Your
something
Twitter.
that's malevolent and sort of
Your Twitter.
being. It's just a fun place that I try to put jokes.
Baking soda.
I know growing up we had an open box in the refrigerator to keep smells away.
Baking soda in laundry detergent.
Didn't know that existed before you said that sentence.
Dryer sheets.
Essential.
The segment, bleach please.
Maybe my least favorite, not even my least favorite part of the podcast, but my least favorite thing in maybe the world. The segment, bleach please, which I will not say in the oddly urban voice that you choose to say it in.
It was more than a sentence. The pores.
I don't even want to dignify that. I don't want it to be even traceable that I think of people as pores or riches or whatever sick.
What an egalitarian world you live in.
It's tough being good, but you wouldn't know about that, I guess. Why even bother? Gonna need some more water, but
I've only got
at your leisure.
Half full body of a bottle of Powerade that I got from the vending machine.
Can if I need it, could I take a sip of it?
Absolutely not. Do you have anything to plug?
Not really. I mean,
I
I've got
think you would.
What do you mean by that?
Your career's not going so well.
That's debatable, and also a Steve Whalen line, which is weird because you're not him, and I'm not him. It's sort of got a little bit of a Whalen on the brain, it seems.
Your career's not going so well. You called your agent, and he said, "No news is good news."
Yeah, but that is not my joke.
You
and
suck.
Not your joke.
You suck. He's better than you. Most people are better than you. You suck.
Well,
you suck. You ruined my rehabilitation.
How did I ruin your rehabilitation? In what possible universe did I ruin your rehabilitation?
By being confrontational?
I'm not being confrontational.
By being petty? And by drawing out this weird criticism of the pores and then attributing it to me.
That was you.
If anybody is listening, they can rewind and say, okay, who started this conversation about the pores?
Probably Brett.
And it will lead.
It would probably lead right to Brett
Joe Rumrill
Davis.
at 2-ton bug on Twitter.
You're going to tune into his public access show on Wednesday nights.
And yeah, please tune into my public access show Wednesday nights.
We're revamped. We're going to be revamped.
It's revamped, so it's a little more of a fun talk show segment. And I don't know how much crossover is between audiences.
No longer
if you
will
like
there
the
be
podcast for London,
pedophile
probably
scientists.
Like the special.
And maybe
I'm sorry for wasting your time with Joe Rumrill. You probably won't like
a waste
his
of
material.
time.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. How long do we have on the dryer? We shouldn't have mixed our clothing. That's weird. We kind of dress kind of similarly, and it's going to be rough to separate those.
I'll know what's your mind.
Okay.
I think what's going to be tough is the
I'm not looking forward
45 minutes of silence.
I'm not looking forward to, once these microphones are off, having to stay here for 45 more minutes with you after you having on the record said that I am bad. God, that Powerade looks good. You got red. It's my favorite one. But that's cool. I don't need... Humans don't need hydration. It's kind of funny because they do need... they need water and fluids to live. But that's cool. If you want me to wither and die while we wait for our dryer to... I'm cool with wet clothes, actually. We'll air dry. I'll air dry it at home. It'll be all right. But then that leaves yours wet, too, and you're trying to be rehabilitated. And I'll try to be nice to you. That's all right. It's cool. Wednesday nights at 11 o'clock. Darren is on it. And probably Sally. Frank behind the booth. Guests coming up. I don't know. Brett Gelman was on a while back.
Bleach, please.
Forever Dog. This has been a Forever Dog production. Executive produced by Joe Cilio, Alex Ramsey, and Brett Boehm. For more podcasts, please visit foreverdogproductions.com.
Your podcasting feed was just hacked by Left-Handed Radio. Left-Handed Radio.
Left-Handed Radio.